Don't watch Family Guy no more. I never watch Family Guy. Except for a little bit of Cleveland Brown. Never watch Family Guy. Bo 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 bo. Bo 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 bo. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Boom boom. I really should have an intro for streams, so I'm not just kind of sat waiting. It's not the greatest idea because there's no prompts. Oh shit! What the fuck did I just do? It is just purely kind of waiting around because there's no point of starting a stream immediately because then like that's what I hate. I hate how streaming works when you're trying to do a thing because you need like an intro to the thing, but you can't do an intro to the thing right at the very start because nobody's actually in. No one gives a shit about this. Anyway, welcome to today's stream. I didn't stream yesterday because I was very tired because I'm a little bitch and couldn't get through it and just went to sleep instead. Uh, so instead of doing a Cobra stream, which I missed, which I was supposed to start doing regularly, I thought I'd do something a bit different because this is something that will pop up in the new video I'm going to be making soon, just a regular locale update one. And I thought, hey, it would probably be a good idea to let people see these videos in full. Just for one of the locales because it's kind of interesting. Is it time for tea? Mm. I thought it'd be interesting to show everyone the full videos because the person we've got on the screen here, oh boy, is she a menace. And now I don't know who really watches these streams anymore. I don't know who's watching this stream so far. But to some of you who have been in my older streams, this woman may ring a bell. This woman is a person, and yes, it is a woman. This person is a woman by the name of Flowergothic. And Flowergothic is a person I've been following for about a year now. But I've never really thought about doing a video on her because overall she's not really that interesting, and a lot of the videos she did was like, yeah. So the most notable thing about her is that she was an editor for Quinton Review. So I just saw the comment by my name of Jeff. Chat already down bad. It's very true. Guys are degenerates. Hey HRM, Lazarga man, shall Dylan Thomas be part of the update? No, because he's not done anything. I will say that this. So there's three. There's going to be three this year. This is the second one, of course, because it's quarterly. This one is probably the least updatey one there actually is, because not that many people have actually done stuff that I've covered, so there isn't really much for me to say. This has Dylan Thomas actually done stuff? Because I assume he's not. Are you following on the ongoing drama between Music Bismarty and Foodie Beauty? No. I've just been kind of looking solely at the videos I've been doing, which is more Dowry Misfits ones. I've lost track of where I was going. What was I saying? I forgot. Oh, the most notable part about this woman is that she was an editor for Quinton Reviews, doing the really stupid videos about iCarly, which again I still don't know why he's done that. What a bizarre thing to make, and what a bizarre thing for people to watch. Well, I'll have to look into that, Lazaga man. Thank you for giving me more work. I did try and look into Dylan Thomas, but because he's not someone I really get updated about, and when I did a quick check, I didn't see anything pop up. So I'll have a quick look. Thank you, Lazaga man. If there's anyone you know I've made a video on, you want to make me look like a complete twat with, and say, oh yeah, you need to cover this person, please let me know. But the thing about Flowergothic is that she was Quinton Reviews' editor, not anymore. And also, I didn't do Fed Smoker. That was Cecil, or wherever you pronounce. I don't know how to pronounce names. And Flowergothic did not have a fun time not being Quinton Reviews' editor anymore. So, before I actually managed to get into the video, 6 minutes in, what I will say about Flowergothic is that she is quite mental. She used to think she was a Martian princess. She is really, really unfunny. She's kind of just awkward, which I mean, I wouldn't necessarily blame her for, but she's not really in the right place for being awkward like that. So I say it all. And I'll give her some reach. She does have an OnlyFans, so if anyone wants to have a good look at that, there you go. And you have to pay £6 for it, which they're not watching this stream, I don't think, so I can say I know that from a certain person, and I will not name them because it's not a good look. So yeah. Let's get in. I've seen. I've had unsolicited pictures of her. I do not enjoy looking at them. She's really bad at posing. But let's get into the stream. So I didn't mean to berate her in that part. That was just a quick mention. Let's actually go into the video. And I don't know how much. I don't know if I'll need to speed this up a bit, because so we're going to be watching Flowergothic's video, which was the first video made, and it was basically a takedown on him. She's been making videos mentioning him in the past, but it's not been anything in depth. So once this video came out, Quinton Reviews did come out and do a response. Thank you for introducing me to Perry Caravello. I've been watching him streams live since I saw your video almost a year ago. Lol. No problem, bud. Glad you're enjoying that stuff. Yeah, start off with that wine. This is a serious video. Oh, so I just realised this is something I've completely forgot to actually put in my script. She is very evidently reading off of a script. Oh shit, she is muted. Fuck, I fucking noticed. God damn it. I'm such an idiot. Fuck. I always do it. I've been berating her for being shit and then I fuck up immediately. God damn it. Every time. Every time. Fuck's sake. It's Quinton Reviews is on the right side of the thumbnail.
Alright,
fuck!
Fine. I'll make an actual video talking about my experiences with Quinton Reviews. Hello everyone. My name is Julia, known on the internet as Flowergothic, and I edited Quinton Reviews' first 2 iCarly videos.
So
I edited
you might be able to tell now that you can actually hear the fucking thing that yeah, she's clearly reading off a script. She does it in every video. You'll really notice her reading off of a script. That voice would not. Yeah, I think the best way to describe her voice is a very Chris Chan-esque voice. She kind of fluctuates in pitch throughout her speech, and it's nasally, which is a pretty similar way to how Chris Chan speaks. So I think it's a pretty decent comparison. I think someone brought up a better comparison, but I don't remember at the minute. She sounds pretentious. Oh, that's a pretty good way to describe her.
the majority of I binged
That's not the right
iCarly,
button.
and I was essentially the sole editor for the end of iCarly.
Soul editor. Oh, she's putting this in. It doesn't matter. We know. We don't need to know necessarily. We can check it ourselves.
That he never treated me as a friend, even though he called me one. Oh, and if you think I'm lying about that,
Oh, he wasn't my proper friend. That's her like first biggest complaint. Flowergothic is a woman.
today I want to talk about the year and a half I associated myself with Quinton and how he ended up kind of fucking me over. Maybe that's an exaggeration.
Kind of fucking me
Fuck
over.
if I know. I've talked about this before on social media, but some dear friends of mine encouraged me to make an official call-out video to get the word out.
I love the
or
hand
in
actions.
a way that's not me drunkenly yelling at people on Twitter. So let's do this. Our story starts in February 2020 with Garfieldy.
Right, so I was thinking maybe I should just like speed through this bit, just at a higher speed. I've realised now that there's literally no point. So what she says at this part is that she did a Garfield Eats thing. She got invited to a group chat, and in that group chat she met Quinton Reviews, and she got mixed up with strange Aeons. And like none of this means anything. We know it was Quinton Reviews' editor, so we don't need to know how they met. It doesn't add anything. It's literally pointless. What is the point of it in the video? And how long is this part for? What's this part? I don't think this is anything. So I'll see how it goes for a minute. I don't remember. I didn't timestamp this video, which I really should have done.
By the way, Hippie, if you're watching this, I hold no ill will against you. I just wish you haven't drunk the Kool-Aid, so to speak. Side note about
Okay.
Quinton's Discord. I've said it before, and I wish I had receipts of this, but I sadly only have this. But Quinton kind of used his server as talk therapy. There would be times where he would just hop on and say, "Hey, is anyone around? I'm feeling down and I want to talk to someone," or something along the lines of that. And basically whoever happened to be on at the moment had to lift his spirits or whatever. Again, I sadly don't have any screenshots of those chats, so unless someone
this
else
doesn't
leaks
matter.
them, you're gonna have
Yeah,
to
he's a
take my
dweeb,
word
but it's
on
Quinton
it.
Reviews.
Now,
We know.
you may be thinking, wait a second, Flower, what about iCarly? Where's the iCarly editing story? We're about to get to it. I wanted to give a bit of a prelude before I talk
Oh
about
shit! I
it.
used prelude in
With
this.
everything I said
title.
on Twitter and TikTok, it's easy to believe that Quinton and I's association didn't begin until I started editing the iCarly videos. That's not true, and this was meant to show that we knew each other for a while beforehand. It has the added
Means
effect
nothing.
of me putting a bit too too much trust in Quinton. Since I considered him a friend and he told me he considered me a friend.
Does not mean anything. Literally no point of having it. 18-minute video, 5 minutes of it are pointless. They knew each other because of Garfield. Great. Who gives a shit?
But let's get on with it. Again, I mostly addressed this in a Twitter thread, so if any of this sounds like rehashing, I do apologize. 1 month before I binged iCarly dropped, things were moving super slow. Minimal progress, so to speak. Quinton had no real assets to work with, and if memory serves me right, he was just scratching the surface of season 2. I remember Quinton having little done in mid-May because that was the same time I turned 21, which in America is a very significant birthday, because that's when you can finally drink. So when Quinton was lamenting about looking for editors to get the video out,
but by the way,
revival,
shit. So just remember, would you be down to show us your tits? Thanks, Twerk. Hey, classic beef. Okay, that really threw me off. So this is supposed to be like a takedown video, and she's very clearly doing it like it's a comedy bit, which is very weird. It doesn't fit the tone of the video. Her kind of point in the very start is to show that she's been affected by Quinton Reviews' behavior, and it's had a negative effect on her through being exploited and being disregarded as like a funny fuck, I read the message. Being disregarded as basically a friend, which she saw herself as, to Quinton. So yeah, it doesn't fit the tone of the video. It's weird that she would do it this way. But we are actually going to get in the main part of it now.
I volunteered myself. I spent 8 hours of my May 16, 2021 editing Quinton's thoughts on the pilot, which was the tryout everyone who applied had to do. Here was Quinton's reaction. So
I'm
yeah,
not inciting
I
harassment.
was hired like...
I'm going through the videos as we're going through it.
Was there a contract? No. Why didn't I ask for one? 2 reasons. 1, this was my very first real editing gig. I was fresh to the scene, as they say, and honestly, I had no clue.
And we are going to go through both sides if the story in the stream.
I had a major admiration for Quinton. I thought, hey, he's worked with people before. He knows the drill. I placed my trust in him. Now, during the majority of my time editing I Binged iCarly, I was in a 3-week, 15-day symposium.
No, I'm not gonna say.
2 short films. These classes lasted about 4 hours, not including an hour break for lunch. So I would wake up at 7 a.m., go to class at 9, stay there till like 2 or 3, and go home and edit iCarly until like 9 or 10 p.m. Taking breaks, of course, were dinner and bathroom stuff, but only those 2 things. In total, I was working about 7 hours a day on that iCarly video, along with school and my own content. And as I said before, I was the sole guest editor.
So yeah, we'll get into this more as we get through Quinton's side. Thanks, Damo. We'll get into this more as we get into Quinton's video, but if we are to believe Flowergothic's point of view, this is a bit much for one person to do. But the thing is, she never like says like anything to Quinton where it's like, oh, am I able to have a bit more time? So was she probably exploited in this instance yes, but we'll get into that more if we've got base full face value on Flowergothic's point. Yeah, she probably did. Although it's just you can kind of say it might be her fault. Is this my girlfriend? No. this this whole Flowergothic part isn't really the main part of it. We're gonna get onto Quinton reviews, who is the actual main part of the stream. It's just we're getting through the first part, which is the like kind of call out video. So nobody needs to care about Flowergothic.
Editor for seasons 1 and 2. By the time season 3 was being edited, more editors joined and my workload reduced. Even then, Quinton credited me for saving the project. Payment was not discussed until after the video was released.
Yeah,
Hell, I didn't even know how much I would get paid until the video dropped. He offered $2,000,
you're allowed to express your opinion.
Took a cut. I know I took like 2 or 3 days off while editing, but all in all, I was working 6 or 7 days a week on that mess. I didn't even know I was being underpaid until experienced editors pointed it out to me. Once the videos were out, Once the video was out, Quinton worked on the Victorious video because he wanted his then long hair that he was planning to cut to be his style for that video for reasons I don't quite remember. And I
this
worked on my own
doesn't
content,
matter to the whole
then,
video either.
I
This
still
is just more
watched
kind of
Victorious
filler.
along with him and Hippie. I gave him notes and everything. Hell, 2 of the jokes in the Victorious video were from my notes.
You could argue that Rex and Robbie...
By the way, that's like an hour-long video, and she's saying 2 jokes for her. So, yeah, cool. You had a little part in it, but, I mean, I don't think anyone would have noticed 2 jokes.
The original ending for the first Victorious video. Also, did you know that the Victorious video was intended to only be 1 video? The entire iCarly video essay series was meant to only be, like, 6 videos. 2 for iCarly, 1 for Victorious, 1 for Sam
This
and Cat.
also does not matter. Oh, she does actually have a bit of a link to Channel Awesome. I skipped it because it was in a point where it doesn't really matter. But she said that she knew of Quinton reviews before he first met him because she had probably watched the Quinton reviews Channel Awesome video. And that was it. So there's your link. I think that implies she kind of that implies that she kind of cares about Channel Awesome, and she probably had an effect from how they made videos. Oh shit! What did I do? I just muted it? Okay.
Think about that. One more thing before I discuss End of iCarly. If you saw my Duggar video, you would know that my travel companion got really sick while we were in Arkansas.
This does not matter either. She made a video where she went to fucking like a holiday to celebrate. She went on holiday to celebrate some like pedophile for some reason. And she had a friend with her on the trip, and he got ill during the trip, and that's what that whole section's about. It doesn't mean anything. Fuck off, god damn it.
Once I got back, I sent a message about how much of a clusterfuck the trip turned out to be. I finally found the message. I'm not going to show all of it to respect the pronouns of my travel buddy.
Oh my god, I thought I skipped this part. It doesn't matter. We don't need to know that you went on a trip.
Switched gears to iCarly Part 2.
Is she drinking wine? Yes.
Ended up being the only editor hired for it. I was the sole editing credit. Now,
I just think that slap is really funny. She full on slaps a chair.
Hired for it. I was
that is pretty good dedication to your little slap. fuck do you slap yourself that hard? That's funny. But yeah, what I was saying earlier, like she says that she kind of felt a bit underpaid, but then she agrees to do more. So, what's the core of the complaint? So the core of the complaint was that she was underpaid, overworked, and Quinton reviews did not see her as a friend, despite saying it, and that was it so far. And we're basically going through what happened and why she's coming out about it. Oh, stop muting.
The sole editing credit. Now, I kept in mind video 1's 4-week turnaround time, and the fact that summer was coming to an end. I made it clear to Quinton that my availability was limited and that there would come a point where I had to return to school for my final semester. I even showed him my calendar.
Yeah, she's not a bad
One
person.
additional
She's
class
just
was
a bit
added to that calendar
unaware.
for Mondays and Wednesdays after that, and there was one do-at-your-own pace class that was entirely online.
I will say, oh shit, I will say there might be something in the Quinton reviews video that we might find out that might give a bit further explanation as to why she's making this video. So don't make too much prejudgment. Well, take all the judgment you can from this video, but do keep in mind that there is another video to come in. I also think the main reason I did play this, I skipped the actual part, well, there was a really bad joke in it.
On the calendar. And instead of showing respect for my time, he would take forever to send me the assets. It left me on the edge, constantly on my toes throughout August and September. And remember, I was the sole editor. There were times I had to beg him for the fucking assets for me to do my job. I even expressed my grievances via message.
But like, it's his video, so if he, it doesn't really matter if you can only go so far as you can, because he's not doing stuff because, you know, it's his video. You're just kind of putting the parts together. So you don't have to be too worked up about this part.
Was along the lines of, I hear you, but he didn't address anything I said.
Also, let me have a little acoustic moment. If you notice, she like kind of does the like quotation mark with your hands, but she does it with just one finger. That's my fucking. It winds me up. I don't know why. I'm definitely normal. Oh shit!
So editing part 2 was
like Dr.
hell, to say the least. I worked 6 or 7 hours a day on that video over the span of a little over a month, to the point where I had to skip
I forgot
class
Dr.
from
Evil
time to
does
time
that.
to get the video done. I wanted it to succeed. I felt like, well, the video was my child. I was super attached to it, which, to be fair, is something I also experienced when working on my own content. September 2021, end of iCarly comes out. Guess how much Quinton offered? $1,300. I asked for $1,700 and he sent it. When I called him out originally, I wanted to highlight this.
Sorry, did you mention that little? Did you notice that little bit there? She asked for more money, and he gave it her. Yep.
That he paid me less for doing more. I binged iCarly may have been longer, but as I said, by season 3,
like
2 more people were added, so I ended up
Nostalgia
doing
Critic
less
says.
overall for that
I
video
first saw Gods and I
than
thought that
did
was way
for
funny.
End of iCarly. PayPal took their cut, and I was left feeling listless, weary, like something was wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Quinn still called me his friend. I still gave him notes for Victorious, but I felt like everything was
That is a good point, my
one-sided.
mate. That is a good
I
point.
was giving way more than I was receiving. And then, in November, our friendship fell apart. Final nail in the coffin is still something I'll keep near and dear to my heart.
Sadly, she hates Channel Awesome, so that's not gonna happen, I'm afraid.
It was my final message to him.
So yeah, basically all the points she spoke out in this video. Yeah.
I wrote it in notes because I wanted my friends to look over it before I sent it. He then gave me a half-assed apology. A friend of mine then chewed him out
a little bit was blacked out. I wonder what that's about.
And I got booted from his server. And that was that. I spent 4 goddamn months in silence afterwards,
not
hoping
black,
for
mister.
some kind of apology from him. But instead, he self-blocked me on Twitter on New Year's Eve. Part of me thinks he knows he fucked up, but wants to run away from his problems instead of, actually addressing them. I've spent a long time trying to make this more well-known, and, well, it's finally on YouTube, so God knows what'll happen. Right now, I don't think Quinton wants to continue the iCarly videos. I think he's just chasing a high. His iCarly videos are super successful, so he feels obligated to make these super long meandering works,
I know what you
each
mean,
one
Aware BB.
longer than the last.
I'll just call you
in
BB.
hopes
I don't know
he
why I
can
read
reach
out your full
those
name.
millions of views again. That he can finally get that coveted 1 millionth subscriber. And
So, oh shit. So I think this is kind of late, but it is in reference to the logo update I'm doing later on. It's just to give you guys a full look into it because, it's gonna be hard to summarize it, and show the quality of the videos with just that video. So yeah, this was early July. Just
even
cosplaying
2
as
years
Julian with
later,
that glass.
I'm still pissed off at him for what he did. And besides, I know he hasn't changed as a boss, but that's someone else's story to tell. I know that he was indeed creepy to Sarah Zed and Lindsay Ellis in Twitter DMs. I know
That's
the
true.
contents of those DMs, but that's someone else's story to tell. What happened to me isn't Quinton's only sin. For all I know, it could just be the beginning.
Oh
People
fuck!
you know,
I thought this
and
was about
let's
to end.
find out. After all, things are seldom what they seem. Non sempre sunt quae evidente.
Yeah, and that the way she drinks from a glass. I know this
Semper
isn't a big
sunt
deal.
quae evidente.
Do you know how like Chris drinks? That kind of reminds me of that. Full on eyes closed. Ew at the French. I think that was Latin. I think. So there's one side of the story. Let me get OBS up so I can get rid of this, so I can swap over. That's the wrong thing. Fanta Navy drink. Oh yeah, it was with the Fanta. I forgot. I was thinking it was when he was drinking the. Was it the pina colada? Right. So I don't mean to scare you guys, but this is a fucking disaster of a fucking place. What is this? How many Garfield things are there? This is atrocious. No hose have been there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are they Garfield or Transformers? 8, 9, 10. At least 10 Garfield things in this room. Oh my. So yeah, not a great start to this video. So this is the longer one, but luckily, I think it's interesting in a different way. Obviously, we get to have the other side of the story, which is good when there's a a two-sided story. And I forgot what I was gonna say. The start is very, very funny, so let's just go straight into it. If I can find, there we go.
Of 2021, one of my editors sent me a personal message on Discord telling me that they were in love with me and they wanted to be my girlfriend.
Oh shit, that was the wrong thing. So he didn't name them, but it's very obvious who it is, considering the dates completely line up. But if you notice, he doesn't say my old friend. He doesn't name her. He just goes, one of my editors. So I think this clearly shows his feelings towards her and her feelings towards him, and that may possibly be why she made the videos and had such a reaction to some of the things she listed out in her video. So he very succinctly basically clears up the whole situation in the first 20 seconds, and then somehow there's 48 minutes more. So let's get further into that. Yeah, buddy.
Wasn't really interested in this proposal for a myriad of reasons. The biggest being that I just didn't want to be in a relationship with this person. And I basically, from that moment forwards, had to do my best to turn this person down without turning it into a gigantic mess. And at the end of the day, I guess I failed at that.
So
I guess I was
you may have
successful
noticed
at
that this video is played a little bit more emotionally than Flowergothic's, because it's a response to a takedown, and Flowergothic's was a kind of takedown video, but yet there is a very distinct difference in how the other acts, and it comes off as more sincere when the person is obviously not reading directly off a script, and isn't making jokes throughout. So again, a minute through and you can kind of look at things in a certain way. And I just want to say, obviously, there is no bias I have towards Quinton reviews, as I've made a video on him, and I made fun of him a lot for this fucking disaster of a room. Why would anyone think this is a good idea to have her as a room? Oh my god, I didn't even notice that. Jesus Christ, Goob. Oh my. God damn.
turning these investments down without causing a lot of trouble.
I didn't notice the fucking
And it's now gotten
Sonic
to the point where I kind of have to sit.
I didn't notice the fucking Sonic thing. Disregard all of my defense on him. He's got a fucking Sonic Garfield love thing in his fucking shelf. What is that? Why? Why would you have that? What do Garfield and Sonic have together? Oh my god, the blue Garfield is an iCarly bag. I need to stop looking at it. Jesus fucking Christ. It gets worse and worse. Look at it. Oh,
and tell you
God.
guys this story, which I never wanted to stress you guys out about this thing that happened that made me uncomfortable. and just kind of telling you my story, what happened, and why I feel how I feel about the situation.
He's got so many Transformers as well.
For those of you who don't know, which is probably most
I
of you,
thought they were going to be Garfield Transformers.
that former editor has recently made kind of a gimmick out of creating kind of clickbaity accusation content, where basically they have attempted to take their side of the story
I need to give my
cut it
side
up into
of the
pieces
story.
and try to tell it in a way
I've been dealing
that
with a lot of stress.
makes me seem like an abuser. And they've been doing this basically for 2 years now to try and get a reaction out of me.
Yeah, this is basically the introduction I gave at the start of the stream. But I don't know when he started. I thought that was a Gibby poster then. So, yeah, this is... For the people who weren't watching at the start, this is kind of what I said at the start. And I need to burp. A toy version of himself on a cross. Oh, that's not him. I don't think... What the fuck is that, actually? Just please stop looking at his room. It's so awful.
Been following me around on every social media site they can find me on, just trying to get a reaction out of me. And I guess I've spent so much time trying to be mature, trying not to instigate anything further, because I hate drama and I really don't like starting stuff, but it's just gotten to a point where I need you guys to know what happened. I need you guys to know how this kind of hurt me in a big way, and why I cut this person out of my life, and the real story behind what happened, and not
it's
the version of the story they made up for clicks. Okay. So I'll take you back. When I made the first iCarly video, it was one of the strangest ideas I'd ever had. Up to that point...
I just want to say, although it makes sense not to have it scripted, god damn does it take a long time for him to actually get through anything. This is a 48-minute video. And I do have a little bit less to say in this one, bit for bit. So there's going to be longer pauses. So I apologise for doing the topical thing at the moment and basically just reacting.
In my career,
just
I've
sitting
been
in
striving
silence.
for short form content.
That room smells like BO and dried cum. Yeah, you don't want to see what the Garfield's out of frame look like.
I'd often been told by other YouTubers that making content over 40 minutes, is a death wish. Content that's so...
We don't need to know about him fucking making the iCarly video.
Was that it was fundamentally impossible for me to continue being my primary editor. In the past, I had strived to edit every video I could.
Now, this is just him justifying as to why he got an editor, which is we don't need to
editing my own videos. And I developed a style that I thought was very specific when it came to how my videos were edited. But I realized that if I edited the iCarly videos, the length those videos would take to make would double. And I would miss deadlines that I was aiming for. So I realized I had to suck it up.
This
and
is
I had
Quinton
to hire
reviews.
people to try...
I didn't skip far enough.
Edit that audio with video from the episode. Try and edit that together.
Oh yeah, this is
into a review.
This is what Flowergothic mentioned earlier. And do a video in his style as a trial run, see if he wants to hire you to be an editor.
I'd see who could figure out the style, who could make content that looked like it was for my channel. And starting off, I had a really, really hard time finding people that passed the audition. Because like I said, it was kind of a new idea, the iCarly videos. I hadn't done it before. I'd argue I was ripping off like History of Power Rangers, but it was kind of uncommon, and it was hard to find people that understood the concept of like a long form breakdown, and people who had actually seen my videos. So many of the people that auditioned around that time just had never seen a Quinton Reviews video before, and they had no idea what my style was.
This is
I'm
way
setting
long
up a lot of information here, but I hope you'll understand this.
No, it does not matter. It does not matter that he wanted to have someone who had his style edit a video for him. That's understandable, and it kind of goes without saying, because if you want to make a video on your channel, you kind of want it to make it look like your video. Does not matter. He trialed people out to do a fucking video for him.
And they
I should have
joined my
timestamped
Discord
it.
shortly after that, and that's how I met them. And I kind of knew them. They had banter. But they had become quickly interested in my content, and they applied to be an editor. And like I said, their edit of the pilot episode was really good. So I hired them, and I asked them to start editing for me. And my goal was to then hire more and more people.
I do not remember this bit. Just take a big sip of fucking water.
Kind of the grand scheme I had in my head was, this is what I was expecting. And this is the point where the context matters. I was expecting I would record like a whole season of audio at once. Then I would send it off to an editor. And then they would spend 2 to 4 weeks editing. And my plan was, as they spent a couple weeks editing, then I would start writing and recording the next season of content. And then I would send that content to another editor. So the plan was I'd have numerous editors kind of doing this at once. So there was no pressure for one editor to kind of like rush through material so they could immediately jump on another episode.
Does kind of matter. Very loosely. So I'm not going to skip it.
And that was my plan. I was like, this material should take probably 2 weeks at minimum. And while this happens, while one editor is doing material, I'll have material sent to another editor. So this is what actually happened, which is not what I was planning.
No.
I sent this editor the material that I had recorded for the first season of iCarly. Then I was spending a few days kind of trying to get it back into the headspace. I had an intermission to record that was short, but I had to record it. Then I had to write season 2. And I think about 2.5 days after I sent that audio off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a woman, and random stuff says kind of just brought this up. Why would anyone be interested in this man romantically? Well, sexually. I'm not even trying to be necessarily mean. I just don't see it. As an editor, you want to get jobs and do them as fast as possible to move on and make more money. So you fat-arsing about is costing them money. That is true. But she isn't an editor. She just edited for Quinton reviews. So whilst normally I would agree with that, in this case I wouldn't necessarily, although I do agree with your previous point that it is her livelihood. That one was a good point. Yeah, Hobbit fetish.
She messages me and she's done. She's done with like 90 minutes of material in 2.5 days or something like that.
So I just want to quickly say, Quinton Reviews is probably on like not quite a log cow. He's just on the edge. He's a man-child, but he's not like awful. He's just weird. He's pretty successful in what he does, even though it's weird. And he doesn't actually get himself into anything that would really make him milkable, as you could say. So he's not... It's debatable. I could see why, but he's not like a Christian, is he? He's just kind of a dweeb. I'm trying not to sound mean, but I'm sounding really mean.
And I was awestruck because I was like, I've never edited at that pace ever in my career. I don't know anyone who edits at that pace. And so I opened up the timeline, and I'm going to try and not be too... I'm going to try and not exaggerate here. But there were a lot of problems. There were a lot of issues in the timeline, and I felt kind of bad because basically what happened after that...
Everyone is just mentioning dried up
this editor a wall of things that were wrong. I think at this point, people were still sending...
Thank you for the $5 classic beef. Please address the cat-shaped Garfield figure on the left side of the screen. Am I blind? Oh, God, that is a real fucking piece of tat. Why do you have to keep mentioning this stuff? Who buys a Garfield toy couch? Oh, this is this is me trying to be as like nice as possible to him, because in this situation, I will say the video of in the lolcow update video, it's probably the most lolcow wins in a row we kind of have. Although I think that's only two. So it's 2.5, which I mean is pretty good. I don't think we've had a previous one, to be fair. So
Ending video.
hey Sadie T, remember Lindsay Ellis? Remember Lindsay Ellis? What a babe.
Files as the edit. Like, oh, here's a video file of what I edited. But at that specific point, I had to step in and go, hey, instead of sending the video file, send me your Adobe timeline. And I will go in and connect every file. And any file that you created that I didn't send you, you have to also send. Since then, this is universally how I do my work. Universally. And that's why I only hire people who use Adobe Premiere Pro. Because if you don't use Adobe Premiere Pro, I'm out of luck. I can't fix any minor nitpicks. But anyway, so she sent me the project file, and I went through. And it took me, I think, the same amount of time to fix everything. Do you understand?
Yeah, you might. I'm like 98% sure it's not scripted, because he just babbles on sometimes. Like, cool, your future editors now need Adobe Premiere. Cool. She was a bad editor. You can just say that. You don't really need to be specific about what's going on. You can just say, yeah, just say she was bad at editing and move on. We get the gist. You do not need to go this far into it. Just please get on with what you need to say. I should have timestamped it. This is my fault. But I promise we do not need to watch the whole video, because a lot of it is just shit.
So if it took her 2 days to edit this originally, it took me 2 days to fix it. And I think this is very, very important to tell you. I know.
So Flowergothic's video was 18 minutes with about 6 minutes she didn't need. Quinton's is 48 minutes with like about 20 minutes that you don't need. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about the lengths of the videos, because they are both bad at getting to the point, despite one being scripted. And yeah.
I know it sounds petty that I'm telling you this, but this is an extremely important part of the story. I had to put in a lot of labor to correct this person's material, and my initial thought was like, she's just kind of rushing through it. But I had so few people that understood my vision and were enthusiastic about it that I decided to continue working with her until I could find better opportunities. And I guess that makes sense to keep in. You know, at the end of the day, I decided if I did this right, it would take me 2.5 weeks. But at the end of the day, it's taken 6 days. That's cut down on time. So I kept giving her material. Now, the weird thing that ended up starting to happen was that she
this
started
is Quinton Reviews video,
really,
buddy.
Really
there is no good part.
About getting new stuff to cut down. And what I mean is, my expectation was if I gave this material to editors, I could dedicate more time to watching episodes, taking notes, writing the script, sorting it all, finding like the thematic nodes, trying to figure out how to sort the episodes, because I wasn't doing it chronologically back then, and all this other stuff. I thought if I have other people do the.
Also, am I like stupid? This is probably such a minute point to bring up, but he talks about not doing the episodes chronologically when he was first doing it. But like, how was he doing it? Why wouldn't he do it chronologically? They're already chronological. Why would he go out of his way to make it unchronological? just a small acoustic insight yet again. I don't know. I'm focusing on stuff way too much than I need to, but
the edits,
I
being
don't
my
get it.
editors, I can focus full time on watching episodes and writing the analysis. But because so much of my time was kind of eaten up correcting some of this stuff, I was starting to get a little late writing my season reviews. And she started to be very kind of judgmental and passive aggressive about the fact that she didn't have enough material to edit, and I never confronted
That's
her
a
about
good
this,
point,
but
actually,
it made me kind
Corgi.
of frustrated because I kind of said to myself, well, if you had spent 2 weeks like I had expected, then
Corgi's
this
like a
wouldn't be a problem,
child
'cause
in
I
a
would have
fucking
more stuff written by now.
parental divorce.
So there was always a little bit of tension there, kind of a little bit of a microaggression, just because she expected me. She was churning out stuff really quickly, and she expected me to speed up as well. But besides from that, she was a very supportive, cool
Flowergothic,
person.
definitely.
She sent a lot of kind notes. She told me which jokes she liked. She was always DMing me selfies and weird, comments about what she was working on. And she believed in the project. And I think a lot of people in my circle didn't believe in the project. So that made me, enthusiastic about working on more of these.
All right, a couple people have asked, so I'll quickly try and do a summary. Quinton Reviews for his iCarly videos had an editor called Flowergothic. Flowergothic is a strange woman who was allegedly into Quinton Reviews and was felt as though she was underpaid and overworked for the work she did on the iCarly videos, as well as having an unrequited love for Quinton Reviews. So she made a video with these concerns and made it and put it on YouTube, and now this is Quinton's video responding to that. Hopefully that's a good summary.
Videos. But one thing, that I was always trying
That's a good point.
to make her aware
Mimic.
of was just the fact
Is
that...
it Mimic or Mimic? I'll call you Mick.
It was just the fact that I
There you
had
go.
other people
Close
I was
enough.
looking to hire that I was trying to find time for, trying to find material for, and I was always telling her, you don't have to stress about, getting material done by certain date or anything. If you can't edit on these videos, I will just give the material to someone else, and I don't want you to feel pressured to work on this stuff. I had to say this stuff to her because she was...
So yeah, if any of you are half listening, that is Quinton's defense against her saying that she was overworked, because if she was truly overworked, she wouldn't be consistently trying to push for further stuff to edit. You don't want to know what's on the fucking shirt. It's got Star Trek on it, and I assume probably a Magic School Bus.
So enthusiastic about doing the material, about being editor number one, about always being the person who was sent the material. And this stayed consistent across iCarly 1 and the end of iCarly. By the end of iCarly Part 2, she had gone back to school, and she had requested more time for school, and I ended up saying, yeah, that's fine. But also I had started to build up a really good team of other editors.
Next step up, look at his room.
Material kind of the way that I wanted. And again, I don't want to sound mean or exaggerate, but these were editors. I would give them material. They'd spend 2 to 3 weeks working on the material. Then they'd send me back the material, and I wouldn't have to change shit. Okay? Maybe occasionally there'd be a moment where I'd think, oh, a comedic pause would be funny here. But for the most part, I had just, started to collect up editors that were editing at a pace that I was much more happy with, and I was getting edits that had a really good quality.
Yeah, this doesn't really matter. Other editors did a good
Part
job.
1 and compare it to iCarly Part 1, the editing in Victorious Part 1 is so much less disorienting. And I wish I had the team
He's
I have
kind of
today
just
to work
dunking on
the original
Flowergothic at
iCarly
this point.
videos. But that's not really the story. That's just a side tangent.
Anyway, basically Flowergothic shit.
The
Fuck her.
point here
Back on topic.
is that after we agreed that she was only going to work on the iCarly videos, I started working on the Victorious videos, and she elected herself to be like a ghost writer. She wanted to watch these Victorious episodes at the same pace that I was, although she typically would watch them at an impossibly fast pace. And she wanted to give me jokes and notes and rants I could go on. She was basically trying to be my ghostwriter. And I think there's like one joke in Victoria's Part 1 that she did right. But a lot of the other material she would send me would be like really
not a joke that was funny, that she did right.
Sometimes inappropriate, sometimes really sexual analysis of the season 1 Victoria stuff. Kind of made me uncomfortable from time to time. But the point is that shortly after iCarly Part 2 came out, she sent me what was the first message that really set off red alarms. Something's wrong. We're on red alert. Something's wrong. And at the end of the day, I think I just have to kind of pull some of this out and just show it to you. So these are the start to the DMs that were kind of like inappropriate in a way that made me uncomfortable. And I
we're getting
usually
into the real stuff
would
now,
strive
baby.
not to show this stuff because it's embarrassing, but I feel it's important to present this stuff to show my side of the story. So this is after she was not on the payroll. I didn't know about any of this until after she had stopped working for me. Because there was a span after she stopped working for me where she was just kind of one of my friends.
This is early July.
In October, shit went down. But this is what happened straight after iCarly Part 2 came out. Hey, I'm fucking tired and quite drunk, so I have no shame in asking this anymore. But what do you think of me? It's been something that's been occupying my head for such a fucking long time, and I've been too anxiety-ridden to ask because I don't want to drive people away from me. Fuck, I really like you, and I think you're cute, and you're a wonderful person, but I guess I always fear that other people think of me. I'm sorry, I guess I always fear what other people think of me. I just don't want to come off as too imposing or creepy to anyone, and especially not you. And I felt really uncomfortable. This was not the October DM. This was one of the early DMs. And I felt really uncomfortable. Because this has never happened to me before. I've never been put in a situation...
this was one of the real big bits that I wanted to show off. Because, oh boy, is that comfortable to watch. Very fun.
Where I kind of need an HR department. Where like suddenly somebody
it's not that big of a deal,
just
mate.
A fan, an acquaintance of mine, but primarily a fan and somebody on my payroll, they've kind of asked me out, and I was like, I wanted to kind of take this as them like being drunk, and I wanted to kind of indicate, we're just chill, we're pals, and I'll admit what I wrote is not how I should have approached this to start off, but I was hoping if I ignored the problem, it would go away. This is what I wrote. I think you're an awesome, funny person and a great friend, and I'm grateful to have you around. Now get some rest, hun. And then I wrote, you my homie.
He's so slick doing that 17 minutes after.
Talking cordially. I should not have approached that this way at any point. I should have been more blunt and upfront. It was a very awkward situation to be put in. But I was hoping if I left in some tone indicators saying stuff like, you're my friend, you're my homie, I was hoping she would get the gist and she would kind of stop sending me messages like these. Later on, she sent me notes from watching episodes.
That does sound familiar for random stuffs, but at the minute, I cannot remember. Me and a couple other people do look into her from time to time. One guy has a much better memory than I, but sadly he's not here, so he cannot tell you. But yeah, she's a little bit weird.
Episodes of Victorious. She had gotten heavily intoxicated while taking these notes, and in the notes was again a statement that she had feelings for me. And I just had this sense that things were gonna get bad. And then late into the night of October the 31st, she sent me this message. I guess technically it was in November, but the point is she sent me this message, which again I would typically not release, but she's kind of forced my hand. Hey Quinton, so there isn't any good way to sugarcoat this, and I'm tired as hell and
Oh
quite
my
drunk.
god. I didn't even realize that he kept like the outside of the picture border so you can tell who it is. Did not understand. I did not notice that the first time. And also, that's how we got caught doing the weird messages to Lindsay Ellis. It all comes around. He he's getting her in the same way he got.
Again, she's drunk. So I'm just gonna say it now.
That is unironically funny from Quinton Reviews. He didn't do it as a joke, but that was actually funny.
And let future deal with the fallout. I think I have feelings for you. Like, I like you. I like you. Yes, in that way. I think you're just so fucking cute and sweet and amazing. I've been too scared to say it because I don't want to drive you.
Also, do you remember when he used to, like, girls used to talk to you like this at school? She said she was 21 at this point. Whoa, Nelly.
Away from me, and I don't want things too before awkward between us, like at all. I genuinely care about you, and you're an amazing human being. This is not a joke at all, but I just want you to know that I like you. I really do. I'm my tired self and is tired of keeping it hidden, lol. I'm just graduating in December and moving up to redacted, so I have nothing left to lose anymore, I guess. Lol. Anyway, I don't know how to end this, so I'll just use a pickup line my friend made up, but I really like it because it sums up how I feel about you. I saw that you called me the linchpin for the iCarly videos. Could I be the linchpin in your love life too? So it's earlier in my Discord, I did casually say like, oh.
Who said her friend is a master troll for telling her to use that pickup line. That's so true. That's so awful. She's 21.
Oh, this editor has been so important. You know, you've been the linchpin to getting these 2 videos out. So then she turned around and sent me that message. Now, at this point in the video, you might be thinking like, why is he telling us all this? And I'll get around to it in a second. But this was the message she sent to me. And it was very obvious at this point I couldn't just get around it. I couldn't just ignore it.
I think Quinton is mid-20s. I don't know how old he is. She is 21 at this point.
I reached out to one of my closest friends, and
but
I said,
I'd assume Quinton's
like
like 26.
What is the message we sent?
I think he was like 17 when he started. There was
never a moment of hesitation. I didn't want to be in a relationship with her. And you'll find out in a moment why. But I basically said to him, like, look, this is someone that's gotten quite close to me in like the past like 6 months. They worked on my videos for a few months. And now they've sent me this message that makes me feel kind of uncomfortable, and they've just flat out said that they have very strong feelings for me, and
we got the gist of it,
and I need to find a way to turn her down.
Yep, we got the gist of it.
Somehow we ended up writing this several paragraph message that included a list, and I guess I should read this. It's just gonna... It's good to read this because it'll tell you why I turned her down. First of all, I want to say that I hope you've had a grand Halloween. Drink lots of water so you don't get hungover.
What a nice fucking stab again. He is weirdly really good at just dunking on drunk people. I think that's the best thing I can say about Quinton Reviews. He is great at dunking on drunk people. She's drunk, by the way, and drink lots of water so you don't get hungover.
I've been aware of the situation for a while, as you included a similar passage to this in your victorious notes, but I have to politely turn you down. First of all, I'm not generally interested in long-distance relationships. I just don't really see what it contributes to the soul. Second,
Read faster.
I decided a long time ago that I was never interested in entering a relationship that started with someone watching my videos. I think it's a real breach of ethics and leads to a lot of abusive situations.
That part is really weird. Why would you yourself say, no, if I do this, I'll probably be abusive? What? I know you're trying to put someone down, but that is saying that you have the potential to be a creep. Probably not the best way to go about it.
I'm just generally a person who avoids power dynamics in romance. Thirdly, I can't imagine dating someone on my staff. You being on the payroll by itself lends itself to abuse in a potential relationship. And fourth, I just really don't see you that way, and I hope that's alright with you. I hope you understand that I still think you're swell, and I really appreciate your friendship, but I'm just not interested in a relationship. And I hope you understand this is a little uncomfortable for me, but I've seen it incoming for some time. It's hard when you don't have an HR department. Again, I just hope you understand the situation,
Jokes are the best time
you're
for it.
respectful of it, and you don't try to find any loopholes or whatever in my explanation. Again, I think you're a really great friend, and I think you'll find somebody else, but this just isn't me, I'm afraid. So...
Yeah, he had multiple people write that, just as she had multiple people help her write her love letter, basically. Sometimes being a bit simpler is a lot easier.
So, at this point in the story, you're probably thinking, Quinton, why the fuck are you telling us about this? And I think you have a valid reason to think that's worth questioning. Because I've often believed that at some point, when it comes to me as the creator and you as the audience, and the weird parasocial, complications there, it's not your responsibility to be mad at people on my behalf. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you an example. There are YouTubers that I don't like. I have beef with them. I'm pissed off at them. I don't like them. But I've always thought I would be a kind of a dick if I went around posting videos like, you can't watch that skit YouTuber. They were mean to me at a party once. And when I was younger, I was less mature about this stuff. And I'm sure you guys are going to point out all the times I haven't held myself to this standard. But the reason I didn't talk about this for so long was that I strongly believed, A, it wasn't your responsibility to care. That
we don't need to know about this. Yet you wouldn't make a video on someone that said they were in love with you. Obviously, we don't need to hear you tell that to us. You're a bit weird. You're not a fucking psychopath.
What ended up happening was I sent this message, and this was the last time we talked on Discord. A few days later, she messaged me on Twitter, and she was kind of weird because initially she was like, "Oh, haha, how you doing?" And I was like, "I'm doing good. Are you doing well?" And she said to me, "Oh yeah, I'm doing great. By the way, I'm too anxious to log back onto Discord. Did you say yes to me asking you out?" And I said no, because I'm not really interested in a relationship, and there were a lot of ethical tie-ups. And she said, okay.
Very comfortable.
All right, she was chill about it. Until, I think about a day later, she messaged me again, and she said, I logged into Discord, I looked at what you wrote, and I'm pissed off at you. And I'm pissed off at you, and I'm angry at you, and I'm going to tell you why I hate you. Kind of weird, right? Because, the message she wrote before was full of stuff like, hey, you're such a cool guy, and I don't want to hurt you, and I don't want to burn this bridge, and you're so cool, and I like you so much. And then,
can I say I really hate
this
heart?
I reject her, she sends me a message where she says, I'm pissed off at you, I got a lot of problems with you, and I hate you, and I want you to know why. And I was like, okay, let's figure out what's going on. Now, I don't know if I can find the Twitter DMs, because Twitter DMs just get wiped a lot easier than other stuff. And I think I've blocked this person for a long time. But the short of it is that she had a bunch of things she told me then that she had never told me before, and this was the reason she was pissed off at me. So I'll try and, from my memory, kind of tell you what she told me. What she told me was, she said, when I was editing for your videos, I sacrificed
actually, it hadn't been named X at this point because this is from July.
everything in my life. I didn't see friends. I skipped out on school. You know, I didn't see family. And she told me, she said, and I didn't sleep. She told me I didn't sleep working on your videos because I wanted them I wanted to get them out fast enough to impress you. And you abused my feelings to get me to work that hard.
I don't get
And
it.
I was just
I know,
shocked, you know,
it
because
just
I was
goes
like,
on. But it's nearly
I never
over.
asked you to do that. I never asked you to skip out on sleep. I never asked you to turn around a 90-minute timeline in 3 days. I never requested those things.
Early July, I think.
I mean, you know, like I had told her, you know, like if you can get this back to me in 2 or 3 weeks, and she would always kind of rush through them, you know. And suddenly it made sense why these timelines were so hectic. I mean, sometimes she would turn in timelines that still had like the raw material in it, like it would just be like 10 minutes of stuff that hadn't even been edited down.
Again,
do you know
just
what I
saying
mean?
she's a shit editor.
You know, it would just be all the bloopers and all the outtakes still in the timeline, and I was always confused how you can leave that in without noticing. And editing for 2.5 days without sleep will do that to you. Like it totally.
He did give a reason for that, Corgi, to be fair. He said that he kept her on because she had managed to keep his vision, which was something he was struggling to find at that point. So, in fairness, he did have a reason for that. Which is one of the few things he actually decided, oh my god, that is scary. I didn't even know it was beef. So that is one of the few things he actually talked about that mattered. Oh god, that is so funny. Does anyone want to like screen cap that? I think that's pretty cool. That is piercing. How does he make this face and I'll do it as well.
Makes sense that she was. Yeah, now I realize it makes sense that she must have been doing that because the editing was so weird on those timelines. And she had a bunch of other stuff. She was like, I wanted to be paid more. You didn't pay me enough. You didn't pay me enough, and you were abusing my feelings to get me to accept less of a paycheck. And I paid her what the number she suggested. The first time, I'll tell you exactly what I paid her. For the first iCarly video, I paid her $2,000. For the second
go back to that. Go
video,
back to that.
For the first iCarly,
look at. Oh, he put that. But you don't need to put a tone. I thought she put that because she's acoustic. He put that. We can read, dude. We got it. He's put even less effort in covering this one up. That's clearly
video, I paid her $2,000. For the second iCarly video, I offered $1,400 because I wasn't sure the video was going to do well and there had been a lot of issues. And she said, no, I want $1,700. So I sent her $1,700. I'm quickly inserting something here which is important for context that I forgot to mention, which is that this editor has consistently claimed that they were
so he has edited it.
Editor.
If he's edited it, because he's put this bit in afterwards, why didn't he get rid of the parts of him fucking drinking water? God damn, nobody needs to see him drink the water. Come on, man. If you're going to just upload it raw, fine, but it's clearly edited.
On these videos? So this is a lie? There were other editors working on the iCarly videos, other editors that I hired to do certain parts, and more importantly, anytime you see a camcorder shot or an intermission in those videos, I edited that. For a very long time, I edited all camcorder shots and I edited all intermissions.
We get it. She wasn't the sole editor. Duh.
I feel like I want more money.
No shit.
I would have sent her more money. The only reason I didn't send her more money at this point was she had started basically threatening me. And she had started sending me very uncomfortable messages. And basically, if I gave her a bunch of money at this point, as a random bonus, it would look like hush money.
That's
And
true. Good point.
there were so many other things. I gotta check my fucking notes because she's pulled so much stuff, and it was just a lot of
He's got a fucking Shrek figurine.
really uncomfortable shit. She started referring to me by my legal name, which is a thing. Whenever anyone messages me with my legal name, it means they're kind of trying to be a bit of a stalker. But she started messaging me with my legal name.
The streets of colors.
And I tried to respond to her as many times as I could. But at some point, it just started getting really inappropriate. And at some point, she said something in one of these messages that really stood out to me. She said, well, I'm not going to be in your life anymore. I'm not just going to keep hanging around you when you're like this. And
everyone is going to think I'm actually
weird
called Daniel
it was
now.
like,
so.
As soon as it got to this point, the offer for you to keep being in my life was rescinded. Like, you will never be in my life again because I actually feel kind of hurt by what you've pulled here. And
I think
I kind of blocked her at some point, and after that, she started to kind of make her entire social media presence kind of telling these tall tales about...
So, this is it for the whole video. Somehow, there's 15 minutes left. It's just him going like, I'm so upset that this happened to me. I didn't ask for it. She was upsetting me. I did everything right. And in fairness, for the most part, he did everything right. And that's me saying that. And I've been making an ass of him this whole time. But in this situation, did he do anything wrong? Not so much with the editing stuff. He asked her to do a job. She took it way too seriously than she needed to try and impress him because she was into him. And then he paid her, and then she was like, "Wow, thank you. That's what I need." And despite stating she was overworked, she wanted to do more. And then when she did that next project, she asked for more money because she thought she earned it. And he was like, "Sure, I'll give you more." Because I'm gonna be honest, Quinton Reviews doesn't seem like he'd probably be that defiant at taking money. I think if you basically strong-armed him, he'll basically just go, "Yeah, you deserve that. I'll give you that much." But no, he didn't do anything wrong really in this situation. Is he great at putting down women? No, but I don't think it's an experience he has to deal with a lot, so I can give him some kind of fairness on that. So Flowergothic did have a brief response to this, and we're coming up to the end of the stream, by the way. So, what I'll show quickly, and I'll try to that's not the right thing. Am I? No, okay. I'm not showing anything, am I? No. So, Quinton. Oh, I'm showing some fucking autistic music I've been listening to. Sorry. Quinton, you had no right to reveal something I was trying to hide out of shame for 2 years. Jesus fucking Christ. What the hell is wrong with you? So, yeah. And she hearted it, by the way. So yeah, she basically tried to go on the offensive, and kind of just got slapped back. She didn't refute anything, and just went, you're giving my secrets away, you bad boy." But I feel like that's kind of just her trying to frame him worse than he is. That is just my opinion, and that's just how I'm reading into it. Might be wrong. You might disagree. So, yeah. Let me see if I can find. There's a bit that's like really shit. I'll mute it so you don't have to hear it. Quiet it down. I might, if I don't find it within like a minute, I'll probably just end the stream. But there's a really like cringy bit because she is so like unfunny. And I want to chat up as well. All the comments are against it on their own chat. I don't actually read the other you asking Quinton out, getting rejected, and that being the event that triggered your falling out with him is a pretty funny and convenient thing to admit. Or keep near and dear to your heart, as you put it. Put the bottle down and take a look at your life. Your obsession with Quinton isn't healthy, nor was the decision to pull all-nighters to finish editing work, which you decided to do. If you had these grievances, you should have been forthright with him, and it isn't his fault you were too anxiety-ridden to speak up. Take accountability for your own actions and focus on yourself. You clearly need it. So, yeah. She kind of biffed it herself, and the video just isn't playing for me. This will be a great bit that I think all you guys will love. So this is a part I skipped over earlier because it doesn't matter, because it's just her saying, "Look, I met Quinton," as if she didn't fucking speak to him the whole time. Oh shit, that's the wrong thing. That's me! That's me trying to press everything in the chat! She has I fucking muted it again. God damn it. How am I've done it twice. Twice this fucking stream. All you got to hear was me doing a fucking I should never stream again. What a cockhead. Oh, I've muted it again, haven't I? Let's just listen to fucking more of it. Why not?
Like most of the people were there to troll him or put him on the spot.
There I am. That's me. That's me trying to process everything that's being said in the chat.
By the way, how perfect, how spot on was my impression? Was that a good impression? I think it was. Was there a funny part? I feel like she's like really waving her arms and shit, but I don't know where it is. I'll put it in the video if I can be asked to find it, which I probably will. But yeah, so pretty much, I just wanted to kind of show everyone the full side of things, because it's not really something I can effectively show in the video. But yeah, they are both dweeby people in the nicest possible way. So one's a man-child and she's a little bit unstable. Yeah, they it's such a fucking stupid situation, like everyone said. It all comes from iCarly and his stupid decision to fucking make an iCarly video of from everything. Like, why would you make an iCarly video? Why would you fall romantically for someone who makes iCarly videos and looks like Quinton reviews? There isn't any reasoning I can give behind it. Yeah, she is a little bit of a mess. But of course, I'm not here to send harassment to her. As of course I don't do that to anybody I cover in my channel. I just think it was good to show everything. Yeah? Hope you enjoyed. Bye. I don't think I have anything else to say. Has anyone else got any last notes? I've muted the video to unagree. Thanks to Coram. I might keep the James One Dutch guy to the podcast. I don't know. Is this going on the second channel? I can do. Might as well. Can't hurt, can it? Greaser's uploading makes my pee-pee hard. And on that note, I'll see you next week for another stream.